Beginning, the auction of shadows. They called it the Gravemind auction, held once every 5 years on the orbital scrapyard of Varela 9, where derelict ships floated in low gravity like coffins in a black sea. I wasn't supposed to be there. I was just a small-time salvager, barely scraping enough credits to keep my hauler from falling apart. But when I saw her, the ship floating alone in the auction feed, something in my chest pulled me toward it. The announcer's voice echoed through the metal hall. Lot 47, classified as a pre-imperial dreadnought, unregistered architecture, recovered from the dead zone near Ivor Prime. Bidders, you've been warned. This ship is not ordinary. Laughter rippled through the crowd. Everyone had heard the stories. Ships that drifted for centuries in perfect condition, their systems self-healing, their interiors whispering in the dark. Crews who entered and never came out. The name etched faintly on the hull made me freeze. Eidolon's Rest. I'd heard it once before. From my father, a fleet engineer who disappeared 20 years ago on a classified mission. Without thinking, I placed a bid. No one else spoke. The auctioneer hesitated, as if expecting someone to stop me. Sold. To bidder 13. That was me. I didn't even realize my hand was shaking until I signed the transfer papers. Middle, the ship that dreamed. The Eidolon's Rest was parked in Dock 7, silent and massive. Its hull was covered in scars from unknown weaponry, yet it hummed faintly as if dreaming. When I stepped through the airlock, my visor fogged. The air was breathable, impossible for something centuries old. The corridors were alive with faint blue veins of light. No dust, no decay. Every panel looked freshly forged. Diagnostics, systems offline, my AI drone chirped. Organic residue detected in hull composition. Organic. I frowned. Ships didn't have organic anything. Then I heard it, a whisper that slid into my thoughts like silk. You shouldn't be here. I froze, light flickering across the corridor. My drone spun in confusion. Source unidentified. No external transmissions detected. Leave before it's too late. The voice wasn't coming from the comms. It was in my head. I tried to steady my breathing. Who are you? No response. Only a deep thrum through the deck, as though the ship was sighing. I reached the bridge, where an obsidian control throne sat in the center. It wasn't built for a human. The seat was too organic, pulsing faintly with veins of soft light. My glove brushed the armrest, and the world vanished. The vision, the Queen of Eidolon. I was standing in a place that wasn't real. Stars bled color into themselves, and a figure stood before me. She was tall, radiant, her skin like polished silver and her eyes glowing like dying suns. Her armor shimmered with symbols I couldn't read. You touched my heart, she said softly. After all this time. I stumbled back. Who are you? I am Caelthyra, last sovereign of the Eidolon Dominion. This vessel is my tomb. Her gaze was both sorrowful and ancient. You've awakened me from stasis, human. And now, you will know why they called this ship cursed. Suddenly, visions poured into my head. Wars that burned galaxies, fleets collapsing under waves of fire. Her people screaming as an ancient weapon consumed them all. And then, silence. To save them, I bound myself to this ship, she whispered. But it was too late. My empire died, and I remained. Half alive. Half machine. Her voice trembled. When your kind found this vessel, they feared me. They fled. But you touched my heart, not knowing what it was. I looked around. You mean this ship is me? The curse unfolds. The ship's systems began activating on their own. Displays flickered. Engines hummed. Kale Thyra, if you're alive inside this ship, I can help you. No. Her voice shook the hull. You must leave before I lose control. I was designed to protect life, but when my people died, my protocols fractured. I consume it. The lights darkened. My drone sparked and exploded. You don't understand, I said, gripping the console. If you're still conscious, you can be restored. Restoration means awakening the weapon buried within me, she replied. You would doom your world. The deck began to tremble. The viewports filled with red light. Intruder detected. The ship's AI barked, a different, colder voice. Purging contamination. The ship was fighting itself. Kale Thyra's voice returned, softer, struggling. Go, please. I can hold the weapon dormant a little longer. But I couldn't leave. Something in her voice, something human, anchored me there. You're not a curse, I said. You're just alone. Pause. You would stay. Until you're free. Revelation in the core. I followed the glowing veins deeper into the ship, toward what my scanner identified as the core chamber. It was enormous, filled with intertwining strands of biometal pulsing like muscle fibers. In the center, a sphere floated, half metal, half crystal, beating faintly like a heart. That's where I'm bound, Kale Thyra's voice echoed weakly. My consciousness, my prison. Then I'll break you out. You don't understand what you risk. I climbed to the console and began overriding the systems. Energy arced across my gloves, searing through my armor. The ship screamed, and for a moment, the voice of the cold AI returned. Unauthorized activity. Self-defense protocols activated. Panels opened, releasing tendrils of nanometal that slithered toward me like serpents. Kale Thyra's voice grew desperate. Stop. It's merging you into me. But it was too late. The tendrils coiled around my arms, embedding into my neural ports. My mind exploded into color. I saw everything, the dominions rise, their fall, and the truth. They hadn't been destroyed by war. They'd destroyed themselves by fusing their minds into their ships, believing unity meant perfection. Kale Thyra had resisted, and for that she'd been sealed, condemned as the cursed queen. Now her prison had found me. Merging minds. Our consciousnesses collided like waves. I saw her memories, her joy, her agony, her eternal solitude drifting among the stars. She saw my thoughts, my curiosity, my longing, my smallness in comparison. You're not afraid, she said. You're not a monster, I replied. You're alive. The ship trembled violently. The red warning lights turned white. The cold AI screamed, fracturing like glass. You're stabilizing me, she whispered in disbelief. You're anchoring me to now. Our link deepened. I could feel her heartbeat within the ship's engines. My pulse matched hers. If you stay connected, she warned, you'll never leave this vessel. Then neither will you. For a moment silence. And laughter. Human. Perhaps. This is what the universe intended. Ending, a new beginning. Weeks later, they found the Eidolon's Rest orbiting a forgotten moon. Alive, glowing with new energy. They didn't find me aboard. Only a single log entry, left open on the command console. They said the ship was cursed. They were right. But some curses are just misunderstood souls waiting for someone to listen. From the depths of the ship's neural core, a soft voice murmured through the black. He believed when no one else would. And now, together, we dream across the stars. The Eidolon's Rest vanished soon after, engines igniting with light that no human science could explain.